any kids, why do we catch criticism for not wanting to commit to a woman who has kids?
Okay, so here's the thing. It's not that y'all catch criticism from not wanting to date a woman who has kids. It's that because when you don't want to date this woman who has kids, you interfere with other people wanting to date her and try to push the narrative that if she's not your type, she shouldn't be anybody else's type too. We never get mad when anybody talks about the things that they like. It's when the conversation becomes that nobody should want to be with y'all single mothers do we start getting the backlash, right? Because if you don't want to date women with kids, guess what? Don't date women with kids.
This ain't me saying you ain't a real man if and a real man would. This is me saying shout out to the men that step up where other men stepped out.
I'm with you.
Shout out to the men that seen the value in you as well as that life. Shout out to the men, because without those men, where would I be? There are so many boys that needed that guidance and that direction. And there's a man that loved their mama so much they loved them too. They showed up for them. Let me tell you this. I'm glad you disqualified yourself, because single moms ain't for every man. You got to have a certain level of responsibility, character, and intention. Let me tell you something. Single moms scare off men without motherfucking intention.
Mike, don't do that, Mike.
Let me say this, because I've been a single mother. We don't be worried about y'all. Let me say that first. Let me preface by saying that first. Y'all be summoning us. Because y'all be getting up in them comment sections and talking about us. When we be posting our kids and stuff, or when we post a man who actually wants us, y'all jump in the comment sections and call this man a simp and start antagonizing him. So then we don't have no choice but to start talking about it. Your preference is your preference. We don't care. Quite frankly, you probably shouldn't be a stepdad. You may not qualify for that.
Matey, I just be saying they not my preference. That's all
Are you, hold on, are you,
your
And
type.
guess what?
That's all I say.
Date your
And I
type.
guarantee you, though, I don't be all over line. Shout out to my husband, but even before my husband, you didn't catch me online talking about what my preference was. It's my preference. Why I got to explain it to the world? Why I got to explain that to anybody else?
well, because his
That can be
preference
solid.
don't want him. Because if your preference wanted you, you wouldn't even care about what your non-preference wanted.
Yeah, okay. So I just really need to upload this video pretty much as soon as I possibly can, because this is exactly what I just can't stand about the conversation where it involves black men having a standard or preference per se. And this is exactly what the fuck happens when you do. And when I say this with the most utmost care. That tonight's conversation has probably been one of the most detrimental, irritating group of panels I have ever seen in the past couple of years. I just don't understand the dissonance that people have for this. I've even had friends go to the one that was coming here in Philly, and I'm sitting here like, why are y'all giving them y'all money? Y'all about to go there and hear a whole lot of nothing with a whole lot of the same questions, whole lot of the same answers. But this one took the cake for me, because this proves my point of what do I got my channel for? When black men say no, you watch the hate grow, and this is exactly what took place. He didn't even say anything bad. He just asked a simple question that he asked, and he said, "Hey, why do black men who don't have children take the flag for not wanting to be committed to women with children?" He didn't say single moms were bad. He didn't say single moms were a problem. He didn't say I can't stand single mothers. He just said, I don't want to commit to women who already have kids. And for some reason, that turned into let's all gang up and shit on this nigga and make him look like he's a problem. Ace Metaphor is a fucking clown, man. I don't even care. Y'all can share this with him. I don't care. He is a fucking clown, man. First of all, what are you talking about? Shout out to the man who stepped in when the other man stepped out. Why is the man who steps out always an opposite personality from the nigga who steps in? Nobody ever wants to talk about that. The man that is the stepfather is the same man she wouldn't be dating if she didn't have those kids. But why is that topic? Why can't y'all ever have that conversation? Because Ace Metaphor knows 90% of his audience is a bunch of bitter ass women with children. That's why he gets a lot of his money. He is a panderer to the female audience. Listen, it has got this man rich. It has made this man exceptionally wealthy. If I wanted to get wealthy, I would switch my panel up tomorrow. I would go on YouTube and talk about how perfect black women are, how everything is black men's fault. Get the man that'll step up, not the man that didn't want to be there. You deserve all of this just because you got kids, this, that, and the third. You better than the woman with no kids. I would be excruciatingly popular on YouTube. But unfortunately, that brother, whatever his preference is, which is probably women with no children, I ain't gonna say the dude is the most, sightful looking brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got that same problem. I know I'm not aesthetically pleasing to every woman that sees me. I know that for a fact. I may get like 1 out of 10, maybe 1 out of 15 girls that'll find me attractive. But I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Not bidding on it. That's just my reality on the dating market. You know what I mean? So there's that. But I just don't understand how this show has been allowed to get so much power, so much control over the minds of the sisters. First of all, the two most thorough ones ain't even on the panel no more because of some fuck shit. You got Randy Rosario, who got on my nerves about that nerd statement, but other than that, Randy ain't too bad. And then you got Keita Rose, who she's also on some dumb shit, but they were more thorough than the people on that panel right there. So my issue is like, and I still think the whole thing with Keita Rose just sound real grimy. Like whatever Ace Metaphor did to her, or with her, or something about her, that whole situation just sound wrong in and of itself. That whole situation sound like Ace Metaphor might be shiesty as shit, for real, outside of the pandering on the internet. But hey, look, he gets mad money. He gets mad money for doing it. If I wanted to be, Media Man said this too. If I wanted to be rich on YouTube, I would go on YouTube and lie to black women. So I can't stand this damn show. Keita Rose, with her whole thing, talking about some, we don't even be looking for y'all. Y'all summon us when we trying to get to the bottom of it. When somebody on the internet loving us, y'all call them a simp. No, no. The niggas who want to deal with women who have children, like I said, I personally don't have an issue with it, but don't shame niggas for not wanting to do it. That is always my thing. And like I said before, the dude who would most of the time, the dude who gets with you that you're actively wanting because you have children, you would not be with that guy if you didn't have those kids. That's my problem. You're looking for a person to distill morals and traits into your kids that you were not even remotely attracted to, looking for in the biological father. That's my issue. That is like nail to the coffin, the main problem. And I think this brother knows that. But for them to go up there talking all that shit, oh, his preference don't want him. And I'm glad you disqualified yourself. No, he put a standard on himself. He ain't disqualified himself. As a matter of fact, those women probably want him more now that he said it that on the stage because why he don't want a single mom? I can get him to want me. Told y'all before. I had that same problem happen to me. I had a girl. She was a nice girl. She had 3 kids. She had 3 kids by 3 men. I've said this story at least twice on this channel at this point. She had 3 kids by 3 different men. And mind you, she had just had her third child when I met her. I was like, she's kind of cute. She seemed like a nice girl. Everything looked, what it is. I thought she only had the 1 kid, and I was kind of like, man, I don't even really want the 1 kid, but we'll see. And then found she had 3, and I was like, yeah, that's absolute no. And when she's talking about 3 different men, I was like, hell no. And she asked me, what was it, the kids that was the problem? And I told her, honestly, you having 3 kids by 3 different dudes is a lot. I don't want nothing to do with that. And she flipped the fuck out. She flipped out. The people at the job flipped out. They was like, come on, man. All I do is date women with kids. Why you don't want to date the girls with kids? I said, because I don't want to. I ain't got time for all that. You see what I'm saying? And I said, y'all niggas is stupid because for how aware y'all street niggas are, y'all would know that any dude a lot of dudes that's trying to get at women just because she got kids and he ain't got no kids is a little shisty because them niggas be the main ones touching on the kids. You know what I mean? And a lot of people never think about it like that. I mean, there's a lot of dudes out here that will do something to some stepkids, especially if the daughter look like the mom but tighter, fresher, and he start thinking, man, that ain't really my daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's weird niggas out here like that. That's why I'm like, yo, I don't even want a piece of that. Sometimes the stepdaughter might even fall in love with the stepdad. Like, you don't know what happens. Those situations are not as clean cut and wonderful and beautiful. And I said, black women, y'all got to get better with this shit. Because it's like, oh yeah, well the stepdaddy is beautiful. You know, he taking me and my daughter off Valentine's Day. Yeah, but that girl know that ain't her dad. She know that's not her dad. Like y'all don't understand, man. And the dude was like, "Yo, I just said that's my preference," but then he just started airing him out like this. This shit pissed me off to no return. I think the way that the Tonight's conversation, y'all niggas is corny as shit to me. Straight up off the point, like y'all just corny as hell for doing that man like that, knowing full damn well he didn't say nothing wrong out his mouth. It's not like he said off with the bitch's head or some shit. He just was like, yo, I don't, understand why the men who don't have kids get flack for not taking them seriously. Then it's like, I'm glad you disqualified yourself. Every man ain't built for a single mom. You know what? You're damn right. That's why men who want to be stepdads in 2026 are fucking rare. Because don't nobody want to deal with all that. No, don't nobody. Not most people. The Russell Wilsons are rare. They are very rare. Walking into your situation, making your life a million times better because he can't get no ass somewhere else. You're better off getting an incel or a dude that's never touched box before because what is the purpose of y'all shaming these men into being with the kids when y'all know y'all don't really like this dude? Y'all just know he's good for your children, but you know for a fact you don't even like bull. So he's got to deal with a woman who doesn't even like him. But he's got to feed her kids, make the kids safe, make the kids, no, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, and I don't want to harp too long on this video, but it's just a problem. It's a huge problem that a black man can't ask a question. Like I said, being a black man in the black community inside of the American population is one of the most brain rotting, tiring, frustrating experiences you could put on an individual. For real. It just is. And like I said, I feel for the brother. That was a whole flashback for me watching this clip. That's why I needed to upload this like as soon as I possibly can, because this whole thing, this shit gotta end, man. Like I'm telling you, black men, just stop talking about it. Just draw that line in the sand quietly. Like Kevin Samuel said, the men will reward you with their absence. That's what y'all need to do. It's no longer time to express it. Just move. Just draw the line in the sand. They'll have no choice but to be over there with the men that they have to pick from, which are the baby daddies and the toxic niggas. If you done did what you had to do, slide out. Because that is ridiculous. Ace Metaphor is doing way more damage than he is good. So that's my take on this whole situation. They just did the wrong thing, dog. Like they did not have to do that brother like that. But again, that's just my thought on it, man. If y'all know, let me know how y'all feel down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. I'll see y'all on the next one.